there guys, today I wanted to show you guys a little bit about what I've learned about different kind of markers. I've had some downtime, and by that I mean a lot of downtime, and I've been experimenting with different kind of markers and things that you might have. I wanted to decide which kind of markers are the best, and what I found out was that there really is not a best brand of markers, but there's different markers that do different things, and I wanted to just kind of share with you guys a little bit about what I learned. So what I have is several different kinds or brands of markers that you might have or might be interested in buying, and I'm going to give you the ins and outs of all the different kinds. First, I guess I need to have a little disclaimer and tell you guys that I'm not really getting paid by any of these guys, or I don't have anything against any of these different brands of markers, but they all sure have some neat points, and I want to share those things with you today if I can. So I think I want to start by using this brand of markers, and I'm going to try not to use brand names because it's kind of one of those, like you're watching TV and they fuzz out the brand name on the shirt or the product. Obviously by some of these you'll be able to tell what brand they are, but since I'm not being paid or told by any of these guys to do this video, I don't want to get real specific. So first is just a brand of children's art markers you can find in any store. They're washable and they are water-based markers. Now these I have come to find are not the best for coloring, because when you're coloring a stamped image, what you end up with is something that looks like it's colored by markers. And by that I mean a lot of people want their markers to not be markers. They want them to make it look like it's watercolored or airbrushed or blended or something fantastic. Well, these markers are not going to do it for you. When you color with them, you end up with, I call it streaking or hash marks or something like that. It's not ever really a blended color, solid color that you're going to be happy with, I don't think, for coloring a stamped image. However, these markers, I would not give up these markers for the world when I'm stamping, because one of the coolest thing about them is that you can take a rubber stamp. It works on acrylic, it works on block, rubber stamps, things like that. And the best thing about these markers, and my friend Debbie taught me this trick a while ago, and I've just been in love with it ever since, is that you can use them to color on your stamp. And there's not really an ink pad in the world that's going to give you this look, and it's just a lot of fun. When you're stamping sentiments, especially, or if you're stamping an image and you want to have it come out in lots of different colors, you can just take these water-based markers and color your image, your stamp, in the different colors that you want. You stamp it and it comes out in the two different colors like that. It's a lot of fun. You can use it for different stamped images, sentiments, things like that. It's great. I would never give away these markers. Another good thing about them is that they are very inexpensive. You can find them anywhere. You can steal them from your kids. They're fantastic for stamping. Don't not buy these because you'll want to have them around. The second kind of marker that I want to show you guys is by close to my heart, and this is just to demonstrate to you guys that there are some companies like Close to My Heart or Stampin' Up or any of those, they have markers to match the brand of ink that you have, and that is invaluable to me because, for instance, this is my chocolate stamp pad, and let's say I was stamping with it and part of my image didn't come out exactly like I wanted it to. You can use this marker not only to color with your stamped image and it matches the ink exactly, but if part of my stamped image did not come out clearly or finished, you can use the marker with the sharp tip end to, go over and finish whatever you think was not completed. It matches exactly. It looks just like the ink. For that reason, these markers are invaluable. They're just great to have, and I have them in a lot of the colors to match the inks that I use a lot of. Very good to have around. Okay, we're going to move on and talk about digital stamped image. And these ones are by Little Scraps of Heaven, and these guys let me generously use their image. And I wanted to just kind of explain the difference in coloring your digital images. I printed these images off using my Kodak printer and just some paper that I got from Staples or Office Max or something, and it's just a heavyweight cardstock paper, so there's nothing too special about it. This first little bear here was colored with these water-based markers, as you can see, and I'll post pictures of these on my blog close up later so you can see the differences better. The plain water-based marker tends to run a little bit. The tips are broad, so it's kind of hard to get the ink to go exactly where you want it to go and stay there. It's a little bit uneven because that's what water-based markers do. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's fine. However, this next little guy here, he was colored with an alcohol-based ink with an ultra-fine point. These are permanent markers that you can buy, again, in any office store. If you use just one color, they come out, they're very clear, they're very even, it's very easy to color them. They come in these very ultra-fine points or in a broader point, so you can use them to color your digi images really well. The question is that a lot of people are having now, how do you get that blended watercolor look? So there's a marker out there right now on the market that is very expensive and hard to find. If you live in an area like me, I have to mail order these in, so I'm paying for shipping, I'm paying for each marker individually, and I'm waiting to see the colors when they get here. I have to take somebody's word for it that they're going to match, because I don't get to see them in person until they arrive at my house in a box. I wanted to find out if the same result could be found by using these more easy to find alcohol-based inks, and I'm really happy with the results that I got. I wanted to share that with you guys today. These two bottom little bears were colored with these less expensive alcohol ink markers. I got the same effect that people are getting by using the more expensive markers, and I'm going to show you guys how that's done in just a really quick demonstration. I like these markers because they come in a variety of colors. You're going to get more colors than with just your basic kids markers. When they get to you, you'll find that there are 3 or 4 shades of the same color, which is great. Now, when I am coloring, like for instance with the red, I'm going to demonstrate the red today, you're going to want a medium, a dark, and a light tone, just like with the more expensive brand of markers. You want to start with your lightest to the darkest, so you simply figure out where your highlighting and shading is going to be, and then you just start to slowly color in the area. At first, what you're going to end up with is going to look like separate stripes of color, but when you go back over with these markers and you make tiny motions in between the changes in the color, they blend together just like the more expensive brands. In my mind, there's no reason to buy these more expensive markers to get this result that you're looking for. I'll try to use a different view to see if I can show you guys a little more up close about blending with these markers. You want to start in just a very small area, and for instance, I'm just coloring one stripe of these pants at a time. You want to make just very small little areas of color at first. And then you finish your blending by going back over. I'm going to blend the darkest area with the medium tone by using the medium tone marker and just making tiny circles of color in the areas where they overlap. When you try this for yourself, you'll see how easily they blend together without running over the outsides of the lines, which to me is just really great. It also doesn't ruin your marker by picking up the other color and depositing it on the tip of your marker. For instance, this pink is still good. I can still use this pink in another area, and it hasn't soaked up the other color and ruined the tip. I was really kind of surprised by that, and I really like it a lot because it does show that these markers are blendable, just like the more expensive brand. And to me, that's pretty exciting. When I can save a few dollars and, you know, get this brand of markers that's a lot less expensive down at the office supply store, rather than having to go through mail order and spending $5 or $6 a piece on a more expensive brand. If I can still get this blending and shading effect at a less expensive price, that's pretty exciting to me. I kind of like it. Just to recap for you today, here's the kids markers. Water-based, great for stamping, not so great for coloring. You need to have these for stamping your different colored images. Your brand name colored markers with the matching ink pads, great to have if you're going to stamp a lot of images and want to color them or finish them off with the exact color that you're using. The alcohol-based markers in lots of different colors. They've got a variety of sizes of tips. They come in lots of different colors. Not as many as the more expensive brands, but they still get the desired result in the shading that you want from the more expensive markers. The more expensive markers, great to have around. They're really expensive, and in my case, kind of hard to come by. Invaluable for the shades if you're going to use flesh tones. You can't find these skin toned markers in any other brand that I've ever tried. So if you're coloring lots of faces or people, it's really good to have these around. And also, it comes with a colorless blender that can be used to blend any kind of alcohol-based marker. I'd like to say thanks to my friends over at Little Scraps of Heaven Designs for letting me use their little bear image today. I hope that you'll take some of these marker tips and go create some of your own images. I'd love to see what you come up with. And thanks for watching.